to the character?
I'm Woody, and I always will be for the rest of time. You know, we were at Disneyland, and they had one of those kind of like multiple character kind of like floats in a program, and the steamboat came by, and it had every classic Disney character on it: Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Captain Hook and all of the princesses. And there at the end of the boat were Woody and Buzz, and I realized then, oh my God, I'm going to be there for the rest of eternity. As long as there's that imagination in a place like Disney, there I'll be. I must say, that's a transcendental moment.
Coming back again for a fourth movie, what was the most surprising thing for you about Woody's journey in this one?
Well, I'm amazed that they are able to manufacture the investment in Woody and everything that's going on. They've done it 4 times, and every time it's been familiar but different. I mean, the Toy Story 3 ended with everybody, all the characters about to meet their maker, and they all reached out for each other. It was an unspoken moment where they reached out in love to those that meant the most to them. And I thought, you ain't going to be able to top that. And yet they're able to go back and come up with some other brand of emotional story and investment that is undeniable and great. To me, I bow my heads to the geniuses at Pixar that do not take their duties lightly. Thank you.
Can you tell me about a time that you thought you might not make it pre-Toy Story?
Oh, never. There was never a time. It honestly, it's not up to us. It's about the people that come up with that story. Every time we've gone, certainly the first time we said, is this going to work at all? And for the second one, we said, are you sure you guys want to do this? And on the third film, we all felt like, you guys got this? I mean, these movies are really important. And now on the fourth one as well, we don't know if it's the last, or we don't know if it's the beginning of a whole new generation of it all, but I have always been knocked out by the words on the paper and the investment of everybody goes on. These movies take the better part of 5 or 6 years from the first time they start imagining it to when we're here today talking about it. And they have to be, they can't just be good or facile, they actually have to be worthwhile. And every movie hopes to be worthwhile, but it doesn't always happen.
Did you have a toy when you were a child? Favorite toy?
Did I have a favorite toy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had Major Matt Mason. You know, the favorite toys are the ones that you buy yourself. Major Matt Mason cost me $1.95. $1.95 from Clark's Drugstore in Red Bluff, California, and it took me a long time in order to save up the money and make the choice, but it was a big deal. Thank you.
Congratulations on the film. I know people probably spoke to you about the fact that it's a fourth movie. How do you top the third one? How do you come back? But when you were in the process of this one, when did you kind of crack the story? When was the moment where you kind of cracked it?
Well, we had a couple different moments. One, I would say, when we realized what the ending should be. That was a huge one. And then it was just about how we tell that story. The other one, now I'm trying to think back the last 5 years. Oh boy. The other one was figuring out how Bo Peep can come back into the story as well. That was a huge moment. I related my relationship with my wife to how Bo can influence Woody.
Obviously she comes back and there's all these new characters. How difficult was it, or how much of a challenge was it for you to kind of bring the new stuff but also keep the kind of nostalgic elements of the story?
Well, we wanted to make sure that this movie fit right in with the first 3 before it. But I think creating the new characters was some of the most fun, just because we can create characters that kind of throw a wrench into the world a little bit. Forky is definitely a wrench. Nobody even knows that that's possible. And Ducky and Bunny can just kind of do whatever they want, which is a lot of fun.
Just finally, I wanted to ask you about the new guys. Obviously, you've got Christina Hendricks, Key and Peele, who are just absolutely fantastic. But then you've got someone like Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
I mean, when you were designing these characters, were they the people, or did they just come hand in hand?
We always go with the character first, and then we see what actors can actually bring that character to life even more than we anticipated. And oh man, I feel like we knocked it out of the ballpark with all these new actors that are new to the franchise.
Yeah. And obviously, so many generations have seen this movie. I watched the first one when I was 12. I mean, how happy are you, and how would you hope kind of kids and families take away from this one, as well as kind of the older generation, if you like?
I think that just all these films are about Woody, but also about family and about just looking out for each other. And I feel like this one's no different. I think that we're taking just another step forward. I feel like I'm just shepherding these characters through life as opposed to creating anything. It's just they're so alive already to begin with. So. It was just such an honor.
Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
I didn't think you were going to top Toy Story 3, but you have, and you put me
man.
through the ringer again. So thank you for that.
Oh,
But,
good.
Hey,
Jonas
Nice
Rivera,
to meet-
the other
nice to
producer.
meet you.
I was goofing around over there.
I was just saying about how you guys, I didn't think you'd be able to top it, which I'm sure people have, but you kind of have. But I mean, how difficult was it for you guys to balance the nostalgia of it, but also to bring something new and fresh to the screen?
You know what? It was very difficult. We felt the pressure, you know. But there's so much love for these characters within the walls of Pixar. And when we knew we were going to attempt to do something we weren't sure if we should do, everybody said we've got to make this worthy if we're going to do it at all. And so the passion and commitment that everybody brought, whether they're an animator, whether they're an artist, whether they're an editor, was like at the highest level. And the passion, I think, of all those folks was rewarded in this film that we're really proud of.
I mean, obviously come back and do another one, but you kind of bet the house on a plastic fork. But he kind of knocks it out the park, doesn't he? Tell me about bringing him and Duke Kaboom and all the others back into this, because they're all fantastic as new blood, if you like.
That's a good way to say it. We did bet the house on Forky a little bit. Forky was one of those ideas, honestly, when we were in the story room and he came up and we started laughing, and I remember we said, is this the worst idea or the best idea?
Yeah,
and it was like
could've
kind of
gone-
both.
could've gone either
right?
way.
So we thought that was what this movie sort of needed, big ideas and risks to make it fun. It's also a toy truth. Our kids make stuff and play with them. Sometimes more than they'll open a box of toy at Christmas and play with the box. That's the idea of Forky. Like, how insulting would that be to a toy? So that he felt like a great wrench to throw into the works, you know.
You must be delighted with how it's turned out. But I remember a time when a lot of Disney sequels went straight to video. So you must feel blessed that you've been able to bring the stories to the biggest audience that you possibly can on the big screen.
Yeah, you know, we really took our time on this to make sure that we would get it right. So it took between 4 and 5 years to make this film with a crew of 250 people back at Pixar. And we feel blessed to be the one here to represent it, but we're standing on the shoulders of a whole crew of incredibly talented people, whether it was the cast or the crew that stepped up and really brought it on this. And we love the movie, and we hope that everybody loves it as much as we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey